All right, let's get to the Bryce thing, charging the mound there. I just want to get your perspective as you're watching that unfold. I give the announcers a lot of credit. They recognized immediately. Well, this dates back to 2014 with Bryce and Strickland. Did you realize before that at bat that this could be a thing? Was it even on your radar?
I didn't think about it. I didn't think about there was going to be any retaliation or anything like that. It was back in 14. It was playoff atmosphere. It was baseball. Everybody's looking at home runs nowadays, and when you give them up that far, they deserve to be watched and admired. So it was not on my radar. I didn't think that it was a possibility. But when he got drilled, it was easy to comprehend what was going on, and then the guys react like they react.
Right, and obviously, as somebody in charge of the ball club and the guys there, you want your guys available every game, but you also understand emotion, how it plays into it. I don't know, what do you say to Bryce after something like that? You can obviously ask him to try to turn the other cheek, but that's hard to do sometimes. These guys are big boys.
I would never ask. This game is played with emotion. Like you said, they're grown men. They're very, very competitive, and what I always say about these type of things is the players police themselves, and they've done a good job of it for years. They'll continue to do a good job of it, and you have to expect players to act in accordance to the situation, and although you never like to see those bedlam brawls out there because people get hurt. You get hurt. There's so many ways that injuries can happen there. I've seen guys blow their shoulders out by being on the ground and people stepping on it. Just the act of punching somebody, you could break a finger. You could get stepped on the bottom of the pile. So there's a lot of things that go. There's not a lot of things that could go right in those fights. A lot of things can go wrong. Thank that everyone got out of that thing unscathed on both sides, and we can move on from here.
I still can't believe, Mike, that this guy Strickland gave up a couple bombs in 2014. First of all, it's so random that he hasn't even faced him since 2014, so that's weird. But then he let it fester for 3 years. And probably told his buddies, in the locker room, Mad Bum and all those guys, and Samardzija and all, if I ever face him, I'm going to plunk him. I can't believe a guy would let that thing fester for 3 years. That's crazy to me.
The simple of wanting to get revenge for a performance act. You threw a 99-mile-an-hour fastball, you hit a home run twice. That stuff happens. It's to me it's a lot different than trying to protect the teammate, or you hit one of you hit our star, we're going to hit your star, retaliation, that type of thing. This thing is about you hit 2 home runs against me and you watched one of them, so I stared you down going around the bases, 2 different on 2 different instances, and then there's some words exchanged 3 years ago. To me, there's ways that you can get away with doing that kind of stuff, and this wasn't one of them. To me, when you drill somebody with a 98-mile-an-hour fastball in the hip, for hitting a couple of home runs against you, that's not the reason. To me, the great teammates are the guys who protect their other teammates. They make a point to impose their kind of justice because something happened with their teammate and they're trying to protect them. This isn't protecting anybody. This is just, hey, you hit 2 home runs off me 3 years ago, and I didn't like it, and I'm going to drill you. So, what do you do with that? I was always taught, my dad always taught me, you get hit with a pitch, you have two ways to go. You either run to first base or you run to the mound. None of this talking. Just go and get it over with. And I think if Strickland had that big of a problem with him, there's hallways and runways by the clubhouses that you can have a little conversation with, in between games, before games, if you want to, instead of taking it to the mound and drilling a guy.
How often does that happen, Mike? How often does that happen, really? I know, like, you've chased umpires or whatever, but how often does that happen where player to player, they handle their business behind sort of closed doors, in tunnels, and that sort of thing?
Yeah, I think the good ones handle it where nobody even knows about it. So I've been involved with players. I've been involved myself a few times. I've been involved with players who have who have talked about that. But the good ones take care of it themselves. It's this isn't about making ESPN headlines. This is about trying to get your point across and doing what you're supposed to do. And there's ways of doing that. You want to clear the air with Bryce Harper about something. There's
plenty
of ways to do it without doing it on the field and endangering a whole lot of other people.
Yeah.
You could tell his teammates weren't all that fired up about it. Posey stayed back there till the fight was just about over.